in my life. I got fired from working at Red Robin for doing that. When do we get to bury him in a thing and jerk off on him, though? I'd say I can take on 3 11-year-olds. And he clicks the button, and he's just this woman cussing him the fuck out. This is the weirdest theory I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, in a lot of ways, Big Boy's never left. I agree. He will tell you I'm a bad driver, but there's no evidence for that. I have intuition and I'm deep, and then people fall for absolute monsters on a regular basis.
Hey guys, welcome to the Two Hippies, One Drunk podcast. I'm your host this week, Tyler, and joining me as always are my two long-term time comic buddies, Eric. Scott's here too. He will be here later. Thank you so much for tuning in again. We are currently traveling the country, and your support means the world to us. This is all self-funded, and if you want to help us grow the podcast and continue to do what we do, there are a couple ways you can do that. Cash donations are always very much appreciated. We couldn't be doing any of this without your help, and every little bit counts. Another way you can help is by reviewing us and rating us 5 stars on iTunes. This massively increases our visibility and helps people find us. Lastly, another way you can help is by subscribing to our Two Hippies, One Drunk Facebook page and sharing our short videos we've been making. We release content every day, and it's a great way to increase viewers towards us and help us grow. And with that, let's kick off the show. I'm hosting this week. Eric is a little disheveled. We will be getting into that on a on the road episode. I'm assuming is definitely something we'll talk about.
Yes,
for sure.
For sure.
And if you you want to know the story, check out the Biggie Comedy Venture episode that was posted earlier today. And he says it on there.
Yes,
beforehand. You get a little
sneak
peek.
And you can see the video on our Facebook page.
Yeah. So I have some questions like I've been doing. This one's going to be titled more or less, we talk about the worst things Eric and Scott have done. It has some interchangeable stuff. It doesn't entirely start out with that, but that's kind of where it led me when I went and made these questions. So let's see here. Because I had it under podcast craziest moments. But okay, let's get into the first one. What's the most risky move you've made in a car?
In a car?
Yes.
Yeah. So am I okay? I don't know how.
You sound good.
Okay.
Yep.
I think it's funny. I don't know what I would have thought, but I think I'm going to go with this. There was a time when I was still in my little filming days with my buddies, and we were driving to do a thing where I was going to try to take a blow-up doll into a tanning bed, and I was having the blow-up doll in the front seat of my car, and my other friends were in a different car, and I was just like kind of kept trying to look over them, make jokes, like kissing the doll and shit like that.
While you were driving?
While I was driving.
Okay.
And at some point, my brother and friend said, dude, like I could see my friend pointing like, car in front of you, dude, car in front of you. And I slammed on the brakes. I was about to drill a car in front of me. All because we were
a weird conversation. Did you have to talk to the cops?
No, luckily nothing ever happened of it. I just slammed on the brakes in time, and no one behind me hit me, and nothing happened, but it was definitely
yeah, what an awkward conversation you would have had to have with the police.
I know.
Of like, yeah, I was dicking around with this blow-up doll.
Right. I think that is the most. I think that's probably it.
Riskiest thing you've. Were you guys like planning on putting in a tanning bed and then like it melting?
Like we were just gonna. I mean, you're just gonna sit there and say like it was my girlfriend and I was just there for support, and you knew they weren't gonna let the lady in. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's.
I don't remember much about
it, at least.
Yeah, we did. I don't remember much about the bit anymore.
Did you actually do it?
Yeah, we still went through with it, but I don't remember much about it. I mean, I think the worker kind of just, treated it like it was a joke.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is ridiculous.
Right. So I don't think we didn't get into the thing or anything. But God, dude, that was a very, very close call as far as the car is concerned.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, man. Even to explain to the guy in the car, like what the fuck was happening.
I know. It would have been terrible.
or lady, whatever.
Or I don't know, whoever was driving.
Yep. Okay, Eric is clearly in a lot of pain.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying.
No, I get it. It's like he fell. There's a video online if you want to check that out of what happened to Eric. It was pretty violent. It was pretty insane.
I should say it could have been worse, but it certainly could have been better.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true. Okay. If you got one free, no consequences punch to a celebrity's face, who would it be and why?
Celebrity's face.
Yeah, punch him in the face.
Yeah.
No problem.
I used to have a lot of hate for a lot of celebrities. I don't pay attention as much as I used to. Trying to think, man, punch in the face.
And no consequences, so it can be a lady.
Right. Even better. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, I almost have to pick a lady then because, I mean, the chances of in a normal life, I wouldn't even get to punch a lady regularly. So I'm going to say that no matter what, it's going to be a female one, just based on the fact that, based on the fact that like
no consequences.
So you have to. I mean, I could punch a guy out much easier, socially. So. Which makes me sound like I probably want to punch a girl, and this is the one excuse Tyler's giving me my out to admit I would punch a girl.
I am giving you the one that you're allowed.
I honestly no, I'm trying to think of guy or girl. I am trying to think of
just who fills you with hate. Who grinds your gears? Simpsons reference.
Yeah. Actually, well, Family Guy reference. Actually,
is that what it is?
Peter did grind your gears.
What is the
Homer did something, but Homer did do something, but
you're right.
I believe Peter did grind your gears. But fuck, I'm trying to think in my mind of a celebrity I really hate. I mean, I used to have real strong opinions, like I said, on celebrities. Let me come back to this.
Okay,
I want to answer it though.
Okay,
let me have it like in my mind a little bit.
Have you ever regretted kissing someone and what happened?
You know, the closest I would have come.
You have to say names,
right? The closest I would have come maybe is that attempting to kiss that girl just recently in Key West, because honestly, girls have mostly kissed me first. I'm too nervous.
Yeah,
I'm anxious. I assume that I would assume that they don't. Why would they want to kiss me?
Yeah.
Or I'm misreading signals. So I have not had a moment other than just literally now at 38 in Key West. So for that story we were talking about on this podcast, I had a situation, long story short, where I kind of thought maybe this girl seemed to be flirting with me. She was, and she said she had a boyfriend, but still there was she kept flirting with me, buying me drinks, taking me on a walk,
hand on his back,
touching me. Yeah. Right. And so I did go in for a kiss and I got rejected. I don't even know that I don't like when you say like, do I regret it? I'm not going to say that, but it's the only, I don't have girls. I've never made a kiss on a girl that got rejected because I just never, the girls I've kissed in my life, they kissed me first. And that's not been a lot, but they kissed me first.
And honestly, myself, I can't really think of one for me either. Typically when you're going to kiss somebody, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a positive experience. I just didn't know if it was ever like in your life, you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't kiss that.
Yeah, even I mean, I don't count one night stands or things like that because, that was fine. It was a time. So, and I've never had a situation where I kissed someone that gave a wrong impression. Like, it wasn't like I kissed somebody and then it was like, oh crap, she thinks I like her or something like that or whatever.
Yep.
And,
no, it was very clear.
Yeah. Like I said, mostly I've been the kissee.
Yep.
Because I'm too insecure to assume that anyone would want to kiss me.
I get that.
And I'm not trying to sound like a nerd, but I'm
asserting a kiss without fully knowing that it's like going to be reciprocated, like, is one of the most nerve-wracking things.
Well, one of the only relationships I've been in, serious relationships I've been in my life, and it's funny, this is not even close to what you're getting into, but like, I would even went on our first, what was later talked about as our first date, and I was never convinced it was until they told me it was. Even though we were like walking around and like kind of, I don't like sitting next to each other on a bench and real close and cuddle. And we had dinner.
Didn't know that
I was not willing to let myself think it was a date until I was told it was, because I'd been on too many, and I'm not blaming the girls. It's my own shyness, but I've been on too many situations with girls where I hoped they were dates and it turned out they were not dates.
Yeah. I feel like that's some bullshit on their end. Like some females.
It isn't.
If you take a girl to dinner, if you take her to some kind of event and you're sitting right next to each other and there's like
Right.
hand holding or something.
Well, there isn't hand holding.
If there's an hand holding,
I mean,
maybe not, but still dinner. Dinner is like, that's a date.
What I would say now is I think that they should have been considered dates maybe, but they could have said, hey, I didn't feel anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I went to concerts with girls that I was, I was hoping was a date,
Yeah.
I guess. And so I know this isn't.
Yeah, that's
the
a little
topic.
different. No, that's a little different than what I would consider a date, just because it's like
I've wanted to
it's a
kiss girls.
social
Yeah,
event.
Yeah. I've had girls that I have wanted to try to kiss and didn't. And I'm probably good that I didn't because it didn't seem, based on events after that it would have been received well.
Yeah, probably. So you regretted not kissing those girls, or
no,
not?
What I regret in those situations, and this is so off topic, I regret in my earlier years not being more assertive in a sense of sexually, but being more assertive in a sense of communicating
we're
that
on
I
a
wanted
date.
a date to happen.
Yeah,
How about that?
like that is fair. You want to get back to the celebrity one?
I'm
You're
still thinking
mulling?
in my head, dude.
Okay.
For real.
All right. What is the worst thing, in your opinion, you've done while drinking or being drunk?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's a long list.
Yeah.
What's the worst?
I know. It's like picking your favorite movie. Like, there's too many examples.
What is the worst thing I've done while drunk?
In your opinion, not like societal opinion,
Yeah.
where it's like, man, that wasn't the best.
Man, oh man.
This is hard for you too, because I feel like
I have a lot.
You have a lot, and you embrace a lot of that.
Yeah,
stuff, so
I'm not
really the worst. It's just like another experience.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah,
and I'm just I'm trying to think of something that maybe you haven't heard, or also just in general that I mean, like, as you know me, I'm not shying because I'm not. I don't want it. I would tell it.
Yeah. No, I don't think you would shy away from it.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you can also just give one of your terrible examples.
Yeah, I mean, I would say. Okay, I know. I don't know that it's the worst. I cannot say a worst with me. The worst, I need a top 10 list. But the worst, the worst, and
we
even
should
that,
definitely do that at some point.
Yeah.
Top 10
I'm
worst things
right.
Eric's done while drunk.
Yeah. So I was New Year's Eve. I was with my buddy, and in Detroit they do a thing now where you can drink till 4 a.m. on New Year's instead of 2. And at 2 a.m., my buddy was like, "Hey man, we don't have to go home yet, but we're gonna go to the casino where the car is parked, so we can start heading that way.
Yeah,
I'll play roulette for a little bit. I'll give you like another hour,
yeah,
and then we're good."
Yep.
Like he so, and he went in to play some roulette, and I don't remember anything after him telling me this. I remember 2 things. I remember 3 things from this night.
Yeah,
him telling me, "We're going back. I'll give you an hour."
Okay.
My next memory is I'm the person at the Greektown Casino Hotel is asking me, "Are you sure you want to get a hotel room?" and it's with a girl and a guy that I don't know. My next memory is waking up in the hotel room in the bed with the girl while the guy's sitting there, and I don't know where I am, and I don't know what's going on. Eventually, my wallet and cell phone were taken from me, and my buddy
throughout the night,
at some point, and my buddy doesn't know where I am. My mom's calling him, and I finally pick up my cell phone somehow when I still have it. He asked me where I was, and I said MGM Casino, but we were at the Greektown Casino. I don't know why I said the wrong casino.
Yeah.
This led to a situation where my friend was trying to get into my room for my safety.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him in my room because because the person kept the guy in the room kept picking up the phone and hanging it up.
Oh.
And what happened was the hotel said there's nothing they could do about it until finally the guy somehow put the phone off the hook, and then the phone was like busy or something.
Yep.
And after like a certain amount of busies or something, they were allowed to bring up a security guard
What?
to the room. I don't exactly
some kind of protocol.
Yes, some kind of safety protocol. I'm not going to tell you exactly
the
situation, but because I don't remember.
Yep.
Not because I'm hiding anything. And so I would say in my life that was one of a rare times in my life where I was really like, dude, you need to
So
to
no
be
one
careful.
did anyone ever fill you in the blanks? Did you ever get?
I don't know
filled in?
what happened with these guy or girl. They
Yeah.
robbed me for
They
one.
robbed you.
I mean, I assume they did.
yeah.
I assume. And by the way,
Your wallet.
the guy who I would say probably took my stuff.
Yep.
Went down to my buddy in the hall in the lobby and tried to tell him that I told him I would give him a ride home. And my buddy was just like, no,
hell no.
no, we're not giving you a ride home. You've done
Yeah.
your job.
You robbed my friend.
By the way, I will tell you, and this isn't, I want to tell you one more story about that same hotel. This is not like necessarily a bad thing I did while drunk.
Yeah.
It's just I was drunk while it happened.
Yeah.
But it is in the same hotel, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But me and my buddy Ty that you've met had gotten drunk at downtown, and we got a room down there. And at like 2 a.m, I still wanted to go out and party. And there was this after hours club in Detroit back in the day that played like late techno, and they'd go to like 5 a.m.
Yep.
And I decided I was going to go there. And I'm in the lobby of this hotel, and I go down the elevator, and I'm in the lobby, and I hear a gunshot go off
What?
in the elevator. Right as I get out of the elevator, and then in the other elevator, I hear a gunshot, and I just keep walking, and I don't look back.
Did you
I don't.
ever figure out what the fuck
The
happened?
next day in the paper, my friend sent me an article saying that a man had been shot and killed in the elevator.
Oh
that
my
night.
God.
And I was right there. And I will say I did nothing as far as sticking around to help,
Yeah.
but I didn't know.
That's like the
And
worst
also-
thing somebody's done while you're drunk.
Right.
But that wasn't you.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Fuck.
And I'm like, I only mentioned it because it's in that hotel. And I would say I didn't do any going back and like, oh my God, but I mean, it's in the lobby of a hotel. Someone's going to call 911.
No,
I
it was
don't
a
want to,
gunshot. Yeah.
I don't want to be in questioning now. And I don't know. And so that was whatever.
Fuck. All right.
Still thinking about that celebrity.
That is insane.
You know, a celebrity that comes to mind, although I think it turned out better for Conan O'Brien, but I could say Jay Leno, because I thought it was bullshit that Jay Leno took over. He agreed at one point that Conan would take over the night show.
Yeah.
Conan took over the night show, and then Jay Leno all of a sudden decided he really wasn't ready to give it up,
Yeah.
and eventually he stole it back, in my opinion. I mean, I know it's a more complicated story than that.
Yeah.
But he stole it back from Conan O'Brien, and that pisses me off because Jay Leno is his humor is so tame and boring.
So
and
Jay Leno's on the list.
yeah, he's on the list. If I don't think of anyone else,
You might have to just punch Jay Leno in the face if there was no consequences.
Right.
Which in
I almost
reality there are.
right?
Let's see here. Where was I? The drunk one. Yeah, what's the worst thing you've ever done on a first date?
Trying to, it's funny. This goes back to even my definition of what some of these first dates were.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's go for the sake of
Yeah.
all of them are included.
Okay.
even the ones where they didn't know it was a date.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Something I've done.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I haven't done anything in these situations. Like, this isn't even close to a first date, but I'll say this. Because honestly, I don't have an example of these times where I thought they were a date. I don't
Yeah.
have examples of them. So I'll say this one, and what a shock. Alcohol is involved. But I had met this girl that I ended up becoming obsessed with for a long time. They came up on your talk about the one episode when we talked about love and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was super into her, had a big crush on her, and we had not hung out in person yet other than at school.
Yeah.
And I found out she was going to be at the Kid Rock concert in downtown Detroit, and I was going to the Kid Rock concert,
Yeah.
and I got sloppy drunk because I was so nervous.
You were in high school?
No, this was college.
Okay.
I was just 21.
Yeah.
I turned 21 in March. This is February. So I'm almost 22, I guess.
Okay.
But I got so drunk, blacked out drunk, that I didn't remember the Kid Rock concert, lost my phone. Someone did finally turn it up.
I feel like losing your shit and drinking are correlated somehow.
They are. And like, this wasn't a date at all. But like I said, I don't really have great examples from a date. But like, I was so nervous because I wanted to meet her out of a school situation and like try to flirt and maybe, get to a date.
Yeah.
Actually. But the problem is I got so blackout drunk, and she's not a drinker. And actually she had an ex-boyfriend that had a abused alcoholic dad. And So drinking, she didn't like that.
Yeah.
Not that anybody would like it, but some people, if you're younger, kind of,
Yeah.
you know what, dude, I get it. You'd had a few beers, even girls. I can see a girl going.
Sloppy drunk is one thing, though. It's the
I
other
am a
thing I'd
fun
say.
drunk. I would say, like, it wasn't
No,
like
I
I was.
agree.
It wasn't like I was,
Being aggressive.
with her. Actually, her mom was there at the concert, and I wasn't like being aggressive, but I just. The fact that I was even that wasted and very clearly probably didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
Was not a good look on her. And I've always felt when I went through the periods of being obsessed with her for years, I always felt like that night
Was
fucked
like
me
the
over.
clincher
That
to
it was
that, like, thing.
to like a long period of not wanting to give me. And there were several other times she felt with my drunkenness. That also
since then, but that was like,
but that was the first one, and after that one,
Yeah, it was just a snowball effect.
And that wasn't me trying to get out of the first date thing. I just don't know that on an
No, that
actual
counts.
first date I had
Like a terrible
a
thing.
terrible.
I'm trying
moment.
to think for myself. Most of the time, I'm very polite, and I don't really get super drunk. I don't really put on that stuff. The worst thing I've ever done on a first date is bail on that first date by jumping out the back of their house.
Was that just recently?
That was just recently.
Both of we do
when
it.
you get catfished, that's what happens on a first date.
We both have examples from this trip that made it into these things,
That is
which
very true.
could be bad, I suppose.
Yes. But yeah, that's probably the worst thing I've ever done for a first. Most of the time, it doesn't come to that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're not lying to me. So
Right.
I hang out with them. We hang out for the night. We have a good time, or whatever. We don't have chemistry, and
Yeah.
we both leave on good terms.
Yeah.
Um.
You know what? I will say this. You know what? I did think of one that was kind of a first date, but I kind of got catfished too.
Yeah. In those situations, man,
It was quite a situation.
you kind of get to be a little bit shitty.
I was, I was, my Lord, this is you know what? I don't know if this is too long of a story. I think I'm,
Okay.
should I tell it or what do you think? I don't know. Would you rather get to another question?
I get to another question.
Okay. If you want to bring this up, I have a very good story, and it has nothing to do with alcohol, unfortunately, but I do have another good story about dates. So if it ever comes up again,
All right.
I'll tell you later.
They probably will. I do want to know this story. And for the listeners, start paying us money and we'll tell you that story.
Right. Well, as a bonus.
Eric Fady, one word.
I'll tell it on
Venmo.
the telethon May 27th if someone gives us $20.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually. What's the worst thing you did knowingly as a kid? So, like, you knew it was wrong.
100% I know what it was in a way.
Okay.
And it's not going to seem that bad, but I think it is because I just didn't have a lot of friends. So I didn't have these things where we went around and like shenanigans.
Yeah.
But my family owned a video store growing up, and it was just like a small business. It was not a Blockbuster Video or anything like that.
Yep.
And I would regularly, when new video games would come out, or video games specifically would come out that I wanted to play.
Yep.
My mom would be like, well, that's brand new. We got to make sure we let people rent those. And I would put like the new Madden game behind an old game that no one would rent. And then at the end of the night, be like, oh, no one rented Madden 96.
I'm going to play this. That is hilarious. Oh man, that's such a 90s kid move, dude.
I know.
Just like, I'm putting this right
Taking money out of my parents' pocket.
Yeah.
When I complain that we don't have enough, like that my dad won't buy me something, like
Yeah,
I'm stealing money from the family.
You're eating all these sandwiches on these trips because you keep hiding all the good games.
Right. Seriously.
That is hilarious.
I also will confess, I've never been a good liar, a bad liar. I've tried not to do it, but I also confess at one point when I was a kid, my dad, we had a yard. We had a big yard.
Yeah.
And it didn't have grass when we got there. Like my mom and dad built our house. It wasn't they didn't buy a used house or whatever. And a used house. I know that's not how they think they describe them, but we didn't
like a car.
Right. But they didn't have grass. So we had to and our yard was in like an old farm field.
Yep.
So to get grass, first we had to really like tend it.
Yeah.
Because my dad, again, my dad could have paid someone to do this, but he wasn't going to.
Yeah.
And so he told us
because he couldn't afford it.
Right, because me stealing video games.
Yep.
But like, so he told us he'd give us a penny a rock for every rock we picked up.
Dude,
and,
I'd be picking up a lot of fucking
right.
rocks.
And so when I say I had no friends, sometimes I say I had no friends. I always say this. I had one friend from kindergarten to about 4th grade, Danny. And then I had one friend from 4th to about 9th, Ryan. And then after that, I made a few friends. But I went through this period where I only had one friend or whatever. And that was it. I could only sustain one friend.
Yep.
But anyway, we were out there picking rocks. And we're like, man, we could pick up enough to get a PlayStation, which, again, I don't know why we needed to buy a PlayStation because I had a video store that we could regularly have use of PlayStations.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went out one morning. I think I picked 10, 15 rocks. And I told my dad I picked 100. So I got $1 though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was $1. But
You picked 10, 15 rocks up. Were they small rocks?
I guess. And I told my dad I picked 100.
I feel like
But-
you could pick up 50 in a clump of hands.
Well, no, they did have to be sizable because there
Okay.
was a certain size because you had the big ones because you're trying to get the rocks out so then you could till the yard and eventually put grass down.
Yeah. So it was trying to help your dad.
No, it was trying
He was-
to. I mean,
Yes.
there was help, but I told him like I got, and like I said, in the
And
end,
what'd you use that $1 for?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well spent.
Well
I
spent.
can guarantee
dollar.
that.
Okay, going with that theme, what is the worst thing you've ever done to a kid as an adult? It might not. Some of these questions you might not have done anything terrible to children, but like
Yeah.
you ever. Well, I mean, I actually can think of one example myself.
Will you
from
be willing to say, or from me?
For you, yes.
What?
I would just say the time that the two little girls when we were on a trail got to witness your whole butt crack.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and we're like, whoa, that's his whole butt.
Yeah.
Maybe that, but
What's a word?
I mean,
to a-
actively.
Yeah, to a kid.
Yeah.
But I wonder
Just,
what
like,
the definition of a
swearing
kid
or-
is. Oh, like what's the definition of a kid and how old do I have to be?
I would say you have to be over 18 and they have to be under 14.
You know what I would
What have
say?
you
I'll
done to
say
these
I'll say
children?
generally, I didn't mean to do it to kids, but I used to yell out my car window inappropriate things a lot. So I don't know some of the ages. Like there could have been just
Yeah.
young kids out, and I'd be like,
Yep.
it'd be like 12-year-olds maybe, and I'd be like, "Fucking punks, get it!" I used to actually, I would never swear. I always was careful to not swear.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, "Stupid kids, get a job," or something like that, or and then
Stupid
12-year-olds sitting outside the school or something.
And that
So I
is
would
pretty
just,
great.
so I mean, maybe
And
something
you
like,
you say like it's not intentional because whatever. But the other day we were
Oh, God,
at
dude.
the fucking comedy show, and this family with this little girl that was probably like 2,
right?
and Eric's just sitting there. Fuck, god damn it.
No, I said,
what did you say?
something about does gangbang?
Oh, that's
I
what you
I
said.
used to tell a joke about gangbang.
Yes, that's what you said. As this family walks by, I used to tell a joke about gangbangs.
I didn't see the family, but
I did. I was like, oh, maybe not say that loud. But yeah, I guess that would be the worst thing. Let's do one more question. Did you ever decide who you wanted to punch?
I'll stick with Jay Leno, I guess. for
Okay,
now.
Jay Leno is getting the no consequences.
right in that big
punch.
chin of his.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, no, you're good.
Sorry, I heard.
Eric is just in pain. What was your worst stand-up set? Let's end it with that.
I've already. It's going to be between two. One, I've always pointed it out, and several times. We recently just came up on the like 10-year anniversary of it or something. But I remember, in my opinion, when I've told the story, and I remember driving home thinking about it. So I don't think I'm making it up. But I did like 7 minutes, and I got 0. As I remember it, I got 0 laughs.
Yeah. Did
Zero laughs.
Did anyone else contradict that? Did someone say, "Hey, you had some laughs"? Or
I
something?
don't remember because I didn't. You know what? I don't remember. I remember driving home that night, really wondering what I was doing.
Was it just you by yourself going to the show?
Yeah. I never drove with anybody. And then I will say the other one I was talking to you one time about would be is like I did this gay theater, and
Yeah.
I told a joke that kind of insinuates in a joke, which I don't believe, by the way, but in a joke I insinuate that there's that like maybe a girl. A girl would never make a guy want to suck a dick. Like no matter how many bad girlfriends a guy had, you're not going to suck a dick.
Yeah.
But bad boyfriends could make a girl be like, "Fuck it, I'm dating my friend,
Yeah.
my girlfriend." Whether it's a premise, I don't believe that it's a choice at all. I certainly believe it's a by-born attraction.
Yes.
But I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I would say that straight girls on a spectrum definitely can lead. It's not like you can choose to be gay.
Yeah.
But it's like you can make out with a girl
Well,
way easier than two dudes make.
I think they can do it.
Just
in
for
a
like
sense that
the
it's fun. It tastes good.
It-
Or not tastes
it
good, but
tastes
it
good.
feels good. I mean,
Yeah.
and in reality, I think that the reality is people would want to say this, but the reality is, if a dude fucking gave me a blowjob and I closed my eyes, it probably would feel good.
It probably feels
I
good,
wouldn't
but
be
no.
No, I wouldn't be attracted to it. And guys don't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if you think about it, dude, a guy, I even think like a
I'm
hand
sure
job.
gay
I think you
guys
could get
would suck your dick
right.
and let you close your eyes. We need to check out some different kind of gay bars. See what what happens to Eric.
Yeah, I've had two gay guys offer to give me a blowjob before, and I didn't take up on it. But
I wouldn't either.
But the thing
Nothing
is, like,
against it.
no,
just
no, I know,
my thing.
and my point is that, to your point, I think, is like, girls can do that
Yes.
and just get the pleasure out of it, and I don't even know if it's a lesbian thing or I don't know what it is.
And I'd say I agree with that.
But guys could do it.
Yes.
We don't. But in reality, if you blindfolded yourself, dude, and you got a blowjob, and then someone told you it was a guy, I think that it would still feel
if
good.
I was under the impression that it was a girl and then I found out it was a guy, it would gross me out. But I guarantee it felt great.
I remember there was
a suck a dick if you're a dude.
My friend Burley, I don't know who this comic is, so I'm sorry that I'm not able to cite him. But my friend Burley one time was telling me about a comic he was listening to, where the joke was that he woke up and his guy friend was all of a sudden blowing him or something, and he was like, "When you're done with this blowjob, we're gonna have a serious discussion after this."
Yeah,
but after the blowjob.
Yeah, of course, after the blow. We're gonna end it on that with
okay.
Eric.
Thank you, guys. I'll be here all week. No,
he'll be here all week. In bed. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to let him scoot on by me.
Ow.
For the listeners, Eric's walking away saying, ow. That's him. And now it's time for Scott. While he walks over here, I'm going to just give a little ad to check out our On the Road episodes we do every week, as well as our Road Life episodes and our weekly Two Hippies, One Drunk. If you want to, I sell art. If you want to support our show, check our page out. I post a picture every week. Scott also does tarot readings. And if you want to just help out in general, we have Eric's Venmo, Eric Fady, one word. Send us some money that way. And we are doing our telethon thing, essentially a fundraiser for me and Scott to stay on this trip. So if you want to support that, Scott and I. I just got corrected by the worst grammar person in this room. I mean, I'm actually terrible at it. But yes.
So sorry. Oh, do
what am I?
Can you my phone for me before I leave? I'm serious.
Yeah, Scott, could you grab his phone?
I'm so sorry. I tried to get his attention before he crossed over.
Yeah. So check out our fundraiser on May 27th. We're going to be doing that on a Friday, so check that out. And without further ado, here's Scott to do. You could probably pop up here if you want.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out. I don't know what
Just
the hell
move.
he did with this chair, but I cannot.
He didn't do anything.
He brought it down and it won't come back.
All right, guys. Nobody listening. We're on the internet. I didn't even get to half of my questions. Man, I guess I got to write less questions. Some talkative people up on this podcast. How are you today, Scott? Scott, say hi.
Good. Hey, what's up?
One of the other hosts of Two Hippies, One Drunk. Let's just get this thing started out. What is the riskiest move you've made in a car?
Ooh, okay. Well, I know I talked before about how I mildly hit a man one time. It's a light tap.
Yeah, go back and listen to our other episodes.
Yeah,
it's in there somewhere.
He hit the roof of the car,
He hit the roof of the car?
very lightly. Like
Are you serious?
He was walking. I was coming.
Shut
out
the
of
fuck up. He hit the roof of your car.
No, not like
Scott.
not the roof.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't tumble over the car.
That is what you made it sound like.
No, the what would you even call it?
The hood.
The hood. He hit the hood of the car.
That's still pretty. You popped him up.
No, yeah, he got
Full-
a
so
little
his
knocked off of his feet. I mean, he kind of fell into the car. Then he got back up. I was like, oh.
So all of his limbs were off the ground, like no feet on the ground. It's
No,
one
I
point.
think it was like if I were to push this table into you and you kind of fell and
But were all of his limbs off the
I don't
ground?
think all of his limbs were off the ground. No,
I
I
think
did
you rolled
lightly
up
tap
on your
him, though.
windshield. You said roof. I'm going with roof. You rolled over this man and just ran off.
And that man was Jason Statham.
Okay, so that's your example of hitting a man?
Yeah, I suppose so. We can go with that one. I got other
I
ones.
believe that it should be. When you hit a man, that should be the riskiest thing you've ever done. And
He was very
the,
nice about
the
it.
crazy, you're not mentioning, like, it should be a longer. If you didn't hit that man, this list gets way bigger. Is what I would say of things you got to pick through because you've done some risky ass dumb shit in a vehicle. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess like okay, if we're really talking about risky to me,
yeah.
I know I've brought it up to you many times before. I don't think I've ever actually talked about it on this podcast, but I like a year or two ago, I was driving back from Michigan and I was stopping in North Dakota to see a friend. I stayed there a day longer than I was supposed to and lied to my job. And so like I had to get back to Colorado and it was an 18-hour drive and there ended up being just an insane blizzard. And I remember like white knuckling it through a blizzard for 18 hours straight to get home. And like straight up
that's risky to you. I am straight up a blizzard is what you were gonna say.
Yeah, no, and I remember like straight up hallucinating.
Oh,
I remember like seeing things that weren't
deprivation.
there. Well, no, and that's also a thing they'll call it. Like truckers call it the black dog or whatever too. Like when you've driven for so long, something happens to your vision. Yeah. And I remember just driving through like Nebraska and only being able to see like a couple feet in front of me and having no service and being like, I might die out here.
Okay, let's get to if you got one free no consequences punch to a celebrity's face, who would it be and why? And it can be a woman because it is no consequences. Is what I would say.
I feel like you're trying to get me to pick a woman.
That's exactly what Eric said. But I'm just saying that like they're both on the table. And if you want to be more, risky with your answer, and it can't be Johnny Depp or Elon Musk.
It's Elon Musk. You can't restrict me from picking
Elon
people.
Musk.
You can't restrict me from picking people.
I am the host of the thing. I decide what happens. Elon Musk.
It's Elon Musk though. I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay.
That would be my top person.
It's not anyone else.
No, but there's plenty of them. I'd go on a punching spree if I could.
Okay, so Elon Musk, you'd square up. And why would you do that?
Because I hate. He is dumb as fuck, and he gets to walk around pretending like he's a genius, and I want to give him brain damage.
You think you could give him brain damage with a punch? Just one?
Well, you haven't specified this punch. Can I be holding a roll of quarters?
No!
No,
this is a punch to the face. This is a square punch to the face. You don't get to have, like, brass knuckles on when you hit Elon Musk in the mouth.
Okay, well, then I want to bruise him up a little bit.
Okay, then. We're moving right along. Have you ever regretted a kiss with someone?
If I ever regretted a kiss with someone? I mean...
And why?
Nothing really comes to mind.
Nothing really comes to mind. You never regretted a kiss
Never regretted a kiss with somebody.
Yeah, like I was saying, Eric, it's typically a good thing when that happens. It's not a regrettable thing.
Yeah.
Typically, unless it's like somebody you just did not want to kiss.
But then why would I kiss them?
Because you get caught in there's plenty of reasons to be in a situation like that where you kiss them.
Yeah, I get like what, like you're drunk and you think back on it later.
It's like, yeah, that wasn't the right call
or something.
Yeah, if you don't have an answer,
no, not really.
That's fair. He just likes he doesn't regret a single kiss, ladies. Give it up for this kind soul. Every kiss I've ever had, I've regretted.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
Most women you kiss, if anything, they're doing you the favor, like in general.
Doing you and your weird, doing you a favor by kissing you? No, they're not.
Because women are they're more selective. They get more.
I disagree with that whole sentiment whatsoever. They are not. They do not. I'm not getting a gift of a kiss.
I'm saying, okay, we've talked about this with sex.
I put in effort, you put in effort. Yeah. Now let's like connect on that level.
The dynamic,
it is not like she is doing me a favor.
Okay, the dynamic I'm trying to describe, we've talked about this with sex before, is like there is a difference. Like a woman could walk into a bar and be like, hey, who wants to kiss me? And somebody's going to. And they could be making out with somebody in 30 seconds flat.
Yes.
Maybe even somebody attractive. Like
but
thing.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean it's a gift. That means
it means there's a different dynamic. It means like if I'm a guy and like I'm kissing you and it works out, it's probably because I wanted to and I'm probably happy it's happening.
Yeah, I would imagine that it would be they're happy it's happening typically with a woman too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there's still that dynamic more so of like women get to be more selective.
They do get to be more selective, but it's not a gift. I'm not. I do not accept that. I do not think that it is a thank you. I shouldn't have to thank a girl for kissing me.
Well, no, I'm not saying thank them. I'm not saying thank them. I'm saying
It's sort of saying. You sort of are. Let's get on. Let's move on. That was a dumb question. What's the worst thing, in your opinion, you've ever done while drinking or drunk?
worst thing I've ever done drinking or drunk. I don't know, driving probably. I mean,
that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
That's pretty. Myself personally, I've never. I did it one time and it was like a half a mile. Every time I've been drunk and had to drive, I always like sleep until I just fucking am not drunk anymore.
Yeah, I would say,
Don't think it's good.
yeah, no, pretty
PSA,
much,
kids, sleep in your cars rather than drink and drive.
yeah, I mean, pretty much, I don't believe there's very few people who have not
You've never gotten
driven
in like
drunk.
some blowout fight or like some kind of like, I don't know, got rowdy.
Sure. I think driving is
Sure.
worse. I think driving is worse.
I think
And
so.
like, but
Have
I
you ever
would
gotten
say,
in an accident while you drove drunk? Or like gone in a ditch or had something happen where it's like you didn't get caught for it, but
well, no, okay, so here's the thing is like, I would really say, even when I say that, and I've not made a habit of driving drunk. I'm not saying like 0 DUIs on my record. Like,
yeah, you never got
well,
caught.
the point I'm making is that like, even when I say that, I would say there's only been, I don't know if there's ever been a time, like if I feel like I'm not capable of driving, I won't. It's more so like, yeah, no, I'm sure there's definitely been times I've been over 0.08 and I've driven before.
Okay, all right.
But I don't
Scott
think
Ryan,
really happened,
self-proclaimed alcoholic and drunk driver.
No.
What
What is this gotcha interview you're doing? What is it like?
I do kind of like it. I don't know. It's going down that route, and I gotcha, I guess. I'm not really getting you. It's more so that like you are openly admitting of driving drunk.
Everybody's driven drunk.
I've driven, I guess, one time.
Yeah, okay. It's the worst thing you did drunk.
That's not the worst.
Okay,
thing
good.
I've done drunk.
Okay, well, let's get into that. What have you done drunk, sir?
I killed a possum one time driving drunk.
Well, that's also driving.
But that was that same time. That was that one time.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yep,
yeah.
it was a bad night. It
I've never
freaked me out.
murdered an animal while driving drunk.
Have you ever murdered an animal while driving?
No.
Really?
No.
No, I definitely have a couple.
Really?
Yeah, definitely like a bird or two and a squirrel. And that, I mean, I didn't kill this deer that came at my car, but I definitely hit it I double tapped it.
Well, and they tell you not to. They tell you it's dangerous. But I think you know me well enough to know I would absolutely slam on my brakes and get in a car accident before hitting like a squirrel or something.
Before hitting a squirrel?
Yeah. I don't want that on my conscience.
A squirrel? I can understand a deer.
Okay.
Or like I can understand like a dog or a cat.
I'm saying my
squirrel?
instinct. I'm saying my instinct.
I'm running that fucker over.
No, my instinct would be to slam on the brakes and see what happens. Now, if time stopped and somebody popped out and they're like, "Do you want to get in a car accident or do you want to hit the squirrel?" Then I'm gonna be like, "Well, I guess I'll hit the squirrel."
Yeah.
But
no, I definitely hit a squirrel, and I've done it because it's like you didn't get out of the way, dude. It's on you, squirrel. You had a choice, man. You don't get to just sit in the road. Okay, what is let's see, worst thing you've ever said on a first date?
Worst thing I've ever said on a first date.
I was curious about
Ooh,
this.
I don't. That's
It's like in your opinion, you say something that just did not hit well, or like it went the wrong direction.
When I was younger, I definitely did. I asked a girl to kiss her, and she said yes, thankfully. But it's still not a good look. It's still a
yeah. I like me and Eric actually were just talking about like the dynamic of kissing women, and I feel like you gotta like. Honestly, I typically be the one who gets kissed because it's like I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask, but I also want to make sure that you want to kiss me because otherwise this is going to be like I'm pressuring you into this situation, and I do not like that dynamic at all. Definitely not kissed a girl to the point where she kissed me.
Sure, yes.
on several occasions.
But like sure.
But asking,
agree.
yeah, that's. I mean, when you're a teenager, you don't know any better. I've definitely asked, like
Yeah.
the first girl, some of the first girls I like dated or whatever, like cutely as a 16-year-old. Can I kiss you?
But it's still not cute.
I'd
Even
say,
then.
I'd say it is. You're young enough. That's fine. You can ask. You don't have to be Mr. Suave and fucking like as a freshman. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I would. I don't know.
You asked. I
Yeah.
think that it's
No, and it
completely
wasn't a good move. It was a bad move. That's the point I'm making.
I would say it's a fine move up until you're 18. Don't be asking girls after 18 if you can kiss them. Then it gets weird for sure.
Yeah.
But before that, you're adorable. I think it's cute. Unless the girl says no, because then that's weird.
Oh,
Man, could you imagine
yeah.
asking a girl to kiss you and then she says no?
That's so
That
much
is
worse. That's
humiliating.
so much worse than just going for a kiss and getting rejected.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least you went for it. At
Yeah.
least you like had the balls to just be like, see how this goes. But if you're like, can I kiss you? And they say no, you know how much pressure that is on them to say yes? If they say no, they really don't want to kiss you.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
there is something off about you.
And also, if they did want to kiss you, saying "Can I kiss you?" might have gotten rid of that feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. What is the worst thing you did knowingly as a kid?
Worst thing I didn't know.
So you knew it was something bad.
Man, I don't know.
Not like just, I did something stupid and now I learned it was bad.
There was this teacher I didn't like when I was in, I don't know, 4th grade. And she did this like trust fall thing where she like dropped and like had people catch her and she was showing everybody, so we're all gonna do these trust falls. And she picked me and like 3 other kids.
Bad call.
And I just didn't catch her. And it was enough that nobody else could hold her up and she fell.
You assaulted your teacher. You assaulted your teacher.
I guess
That is a pretty bad thing as a
Like
child.
a passive assault. I did not touch my teacher. In fact, that was the whole point.
Yeah, but I feel like the act of not touching in that scenario is an action of violence.
I remember she got so mad too. Like it was a split-second decision. It wasn't like I planned it.
Well,
but
a fourth grader shouldn't be holding up a full-grown woman.
And I do remember just like at the last second putting my hands up, I'd be like, I'm not going to catch her. And then like I did, like this was just like an impulsive thing. But I do know I didn't purposely did not catch her. And then I remember trying to be like, oh, sorry, it was an accident. Like, she would not believe me. And she kept be like, no, you dropped me. Why did you drop me?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
you didn't drop her. You just didn't catch her.
Yes.
That which was a choice. Why didn't you? Just to be a dick? Did you want to see what happened?
Kind of. And I didn't like her.
Man, Scott just as a child had slaves and also drops women. That's insane to me.
What are you bringing up this? It's a whole story. I feel like I have to
I feel like
explain that now. Why are you throwing that into this spot? Okay.
I feel like
I was telling them about
the listeners will get it, you know. Didn't we talk about? Oh no, we
absolutely did not. You just asserted that I had slaves as a child and fucking tried to move on.
Technically, he did.
No, so when I was in like,
no, you can get into it.
Yeah, well, I have to now.
Yeah.
So when I was in 5th grade, they did that thing that used to be fairly common at schools back then, where they would try to teach you about slavery by like separating the class and having, half of the class be slaves one day, yes, and then half of the class be slaves the other day. And I got to be on the side that had the slaves the first day. And I remember just
the masters.
And I remember just fucking with my friends so hard, like taking shit out of my backpack and having like 5 or 6 different kids like carry individual things from my backpack to like the next class.
That is a hell of a thing.
Really being a tyrant. And then
they never changed, right? They never switched.
Well, they never. What I think happened is I think like I don't know. It caused a bunch of drama that day. Not me specifically, but the whole thing caused a bunch of drama. And some kids cried. Some parents got called. And then so they canceled this. They canceled the second day, But then it turned into a situation where, like, I never had to be the slave. Us that were ruling never had to be the slave. So the lesson we kind of just learned was, like,
slavery's
I
pretty
can
cool.
boss kids around with slavery. Yeah.
I kind of want to reinstate the slave codes. Because honestly, who wouldn't if you never learned your lesson?
Yeah, no, it was not a good system.
And like we were saying, I did think that we did this on this podcast, but we definitely didn't. So now you know. But when we talked about it before, it's insane that like they left it that way because like nobody learned a thing. Nobody learned a goddamn thing.
No.
Like at all. Neither side. Kids learn to resent other kids.
Yes.
And kids learn that they're better than some kids.
Yeah.
And like that's the lesson that they were taught. What a day in class.
Oh, absolutely. It was a great day for me.
I feel like that's the worst thing you ever did as a child. Hands down. I mean, dropping your teachers up there, but being even though it was the school's fault, being a master for
Being
a day.
the villain from Django Unchained for a day.
And no consequences. Like you never get yours. You don't die at the end. You just fucking keep living knowing that like it was better. Back in your day, slaves were around and it was better. That's the takeaway all of the kids who were the masters in that class took away. It's dark.
Yeah, wasn't a great lesson.
No, not a good lesson. All right, what's the worst thing you've ever done to a kid or said or done to a kid as an adult?
I don't know. I don't think anything. What am I fucking with kids?
It's kind of what I said to Eric too, but he was like swearing in front of them or like, something else. What the fuck am I doing to kids? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
You ever yelled at a kid? You ever just like old manned it, like fuck off, child?
No, I don't think so. First of all, like, I don't know, like I'm not around a ton of kids.
That's fair.
First of all, like kids related to me, like I was a stepdad when I was younger or whatever. But
yeah,
like
but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I feel like, no, just as a passerby, like you little brat. Like,
no, I can 100% say I've never grabbed a kid walking by and been like, hey, listen here, you little shit.
I threw that question in there because I asked the kid when I'm like, I wonder if either one of them just like fucked over a kid or something, just like took his toy and threw it away. Like something just dumb but like malicious a little bit.
Yeah.
Apparently not. We have
No.
two good guys who do swear around children unknowingly.
Oh yeah.
But they do not ruin their day intentionally.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. What is the worst drug experience you've ever had?
The worst Benadryl.
That was way too fast, man.
No.
Hands down. Give me an example of your better. I would say Dex tripping for my personal self. Like when I was younger, I only did it once and I fucking hated it. It was because of circumstance, but I hated it.
Cough syrup. Yeah.
Cough syrup,
Yeah. No, I think you know, as a young teenager, I enjoyed cough syrup quite a bit.
Yeah, you had a blast with it.
Yeah.
I did not.
Benadryl is they'll tell you that if you take a lot of Benadryl, you'll hallucinate, and you will.
Yeah.
But it's not
in a fun way. Yeah, like it's not like your high doses of acid or like any kind of psychedelic. It's not that. It's a nightmare come to life.
And even the thing is, obviously, high doses of acid, high doses of mushrooms, something like that can also go very wrong.
Yeah.
But there is at least a euphoria kind of built into those substances.
Yeah, you can change. I feel like that even in a bad trip, you could come out of that trip.
Yeah.
Benadryl is just there's no good. You feel empty and like tired and like hollow and scared.
Yeah.
That's all the emotions I felt from it.
Yeah, and like I feel like there's no, and whatever that is, them releasing the serotonin or endorphins or whatever, that just doesn't happen on Benadryl. Now you're sick and you're hallucinating, and there's no pleasure to be found in it. And I remember, I for some reason did it, I think 3 times as a teenager. Like the first time I hated it, did it again, hated it, and did it yet a third time.
Yeah,
with different people each time.
I feel like you should have stopped better the first time.
Yeah, and I remember
at least the second.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's no good in any of those times, right?
No,
Like,
not at
there
all.
wasn't
Not a second.
positive. Why? Yeah, we were dumb.
Yep.
We took, 19 Benadryl.
It was a lot. Yeah.
It was too much.
Yep.
I mean, we were like 18, so
And
our
I remember
bodies bounced back, sort of.
I did it once with you, and I did it once with two of my other friends consecutively. And like one of them, I remember he left. He somehow got trapped on the second we were in the basement. He somehow went up to the first floor, got scared because he was hallucinating my mom was there, and ended up hiding up there the entire night.
Yeah.
And then I kept hallucinating he was with me and talking to him, and then turning and nobody would be there. And I would be like, oh, fuck, I hallucinated all of that. Oh, my God. And then I would forget and think he was there again, like a minute later. I'd be like, oh, my God, I can't believe, I thought I was talking to you and you weren't even there. And then I would turn again and he would fucking be gone. Bad time.
Benadryl. Don't recommend.
No.
Not a recommend. I'm gonna get to trying to do some quick 2 last ones. What was your worst pet you've ever had?
My worst pet I've ever
Yeah, I know
had.
you love animals, so
Yeah, that's the
I didn't
thing.
know if you can scale them. There's got to be a pet you like least.
I feel like I don't remember if I shared this before on the podcast. If I did, it was a very long time ago. I've loved all my pets because I am just a major pet person. So that would even be hard. What I will
Not
say,
like you're hateful against these pets. It's like picking your favorite kid.
yeah.
You got to pick one.
Well, okay, I would say, remember my Shih Tzu Lola, my childhood dog.
Oh yeah, I didn't like Lola.
No, she was nice to me and to my mom, but she was kind of a mean dog in general, and she was blind. And
it's a bad combo. Just can't see, but
Yeah.
also super aggressive and pissy.
Yeah, no, I remember if there's when I think about her in my head, it's her doing that thing she would always do, where she's kind of lifts her head up and she's got those blind blue eyes and just going.
Yeah, I always have PTSD from her little pitter patter feet on your fucking kitchen.
Yeah,
because I'd sleep upstairs in the living room or whatever, and she would just all night just, and I would hate it.
If she got mad at me, she would pee right where she knew I stepped outside of my room.
Ooh, that's not great.
Yeah. Still miss her, though.
I'm trying to think. It would be that's a hard one. Yeah, Lola's a cute dog, but she was the worst. I don't even know how I'd rank my pets either. I don't know how you who do I love least?
Pets are generally a positive experience.
Yeah, that is very true. I loved all my pets, and Scott apparently hated one of his, and I got him to say it. Gotcha.
This stuff's really getting taken out of context.
I'm just gonna cut this episode out into little bits. And Scott I hated my dog Lola. I had some slaves, and I hit a guy with my car, and he hit my roof.
Driving drunk, even though I was not at the time. I was not driving drunk at the time.
Well, there's my clip. I don't even have to edit it that much. Thank you. No, it will come out as is. Okay, for my last question, what was the worst stand-up set you've ever had?
Okay, well, I came in at the last minute. I heard that Eric had 2 examples. I also have 2 examples. One would be I got the first paid gig you and I ever did. It was a shady booker who paid us $50 to perform. He told us at a country club. Turned out it was a wedding. We had no idea.
Yep. Bunch of kids there.
We get there, he's not even there yet, and the wedding organizer is like, are you guys the comics? We're gonna send you up in 5 minutes or whatever. And I'm racing through my set. I'm going, oh fuck, this needs to be clean. There's families here and stuff, and I've got 10 minutes at the time that are all dirty.
We had been doing this for a couple of months too.
Yeah, no,
Like, is right when we started.
first paid gig we ever had.
Yeah.
And so I'm racing through, and so I'm like, okay, I guess I can like cut the swear words out, but I mean, I'm doing like 3 minutes on like masturbation at the time, like, so you know what I mean, like saying penis instead of dick is only going to take you so far.
Wow. I don't think it's gonna take you far at all.
No.
Saying penis at any point. You cut out the penis stuff.
And in fact, it did not. In fact, at one point, a woman yelled out, "There are children present." And I said, "I'm sorry. I know I'm going to be getting up soon."
That there were
Yeah.
many a kid.
I guess that's the worst thing I've done to a child as an adult.
Oh yeah. Doing a stand-up show in front of a child.
And then,
In front of a group of children.
yeah. And then
It was like a lot of them.
no, yeah, it was a wedding.
Yeah.
It was a
They
wedding
walked
with
the
families.
kids out during my set.
Yes, they did.
So
Bad time. Yeah. And then the other time would have been I was performing at a VFW one time, and I had this bit that I still occasionally do, but I was doing a lot at the time.
terrible
About
place
my-
to do this bit.
The general premise was that like I was in 5th grade when 9/11 happened, and because of the way the school responded, we all got to like hang out in the gym while the news played, and so 9/11 was a really kick-ass day for me, and I wanted more.
You're a VA.
Yeah, VFW.
VFW.
Yeah, and I wanted more 9/11s to happen so that I could go back and play with my friends.
Damn it.
And I did not know how to read. This was also very early on, and I did not know how to read a crowd whatsoever. So I had to be up there for 15 minutes, and this was like in the first 2 or 3 minutes I did this bit. And everybody, I've never had this happen at any time, or I've never seen this happen to somebody else. Everybody in the crowd turned. Like, people were like giving me a silent protest. Like they put their hand over the side of their head that would have been facing me.
Oh,
And they all just kind of turned and
no.
started having private conversations.
Yeah, about how this jackass on stage is mocking their dead family members.
Yep.
Oh God. Yep.
It
Yeah,
was a long 10 minutes.
that was the worst thing you ever did at a stand-up show.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what I
no,
would
it
say.
was unbelievably brutal.
Yeah, rightfully so. You deserved every ounce of that silence and look away.
And you know what? And for whatever it's
No,
worth,
a
too,
crowd. I mean, to the point where, I mean, they're all people who are in the military.
and honestly, now, if knowing more and being at 33, I might have just left and not even collected my money that night. I definitely did like walk up to the booker afterwards and be like, "Hey, so I'm just looking for my money."
Also, you just adding on to the worst thing you could have done. Hey, I need that money. Well, you didn't entertain anybody, so I don't think you get the money.
He did give it to me.
Of course he did. Of course he did, because he's a decent person. You asked him for it after you said that joke.
After everybody just ignored me.
Well, that was going to happen.
Yeah.
That was going to happen the second you said 9/11 was a good day for you. And that
Yeah.
you wanted more of them.
yeah, not a good VFW joke.
Yeah, but I mean, you learned your lesson. You don't do that at VFWs, right?
No.
Anymore? Haven't?
No.
Yeah.
In fact, on this trip, it's been pretty rare when I pull it out because we're traveling through the South, and some people do
Yes.
not appreciate it.
Yes, I mean, we haven't had anybody like do a full like cover
No.
their face and turn.
No, we
Or
had
anything
once or
like that.
twice though where it got uncomfortable, and I
Yes.
was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do this."
I mean, you are saying that 9/11 was a good thing, which is like, yeah, there's some complicated shit about that, but if it's one thing,
You guys
probably
are
not a good thing.
like, you guys hate New York. The South doesn't like New York.
Yeah,
You're
that's how you need to frame them. Those stupid Yankees up
yeah,
there.
exactly. Remember that time we just
We would have shot them down, right? We would have taken those planes down before they even got close.
yeah, right, yeah. The time Al Qaeda offed a couple of those smug New Yorkers.
That is how you need to frame that joke in the South from now on. Those fucking, like, yeah, Viva la South.
Those New York
Um,
elites and their twin towers.
Those New York elites and their twin towers. Yeah, so that's it. We're gonna leave you on that.
Yes.
Check out our Two Hippies One Drunk podcast. We do this every Wednesday. We're gonna be more consistent, sometimes all over the place, because we are traveling to all 50 states right now, so it is a little hectic. But we're gonna try to be more consistent with that. We will have an on the road episode coming up this Sunday, and then we also have what is it called? The Road Life episodes. And then also I Sell Art Scott does tarot readings. Eric has his Venmo, Eric Fady. If you want to send us some money to help us finish out this journey. And then we also have our fundraiser coming up on May 27th. We will be playing music, apparently taking dares. Like I said in the other podcast, I'll be mysteriously missing during that part of the show. But we will take those dares and do them if you pay us money. No less than $10. We will not do a dare for less than $10. We'll do it for $1. Who are we kidding?
I love that, like, this random offhanded thing I said during one of our live videos at this point has kind of just become
It's become a staple.
stance.
Yes.
Yes.
We will be doing fake prank phone calls.
Yes.
3 men in their 30s doing prank phone calls. So be sure to tune in for that. It'll be like a whole excursion, couple hours of thing. So please check that out and give us 5 stars on iTunes. Thank you guys, and who is next week? Is it you?
I am next week.
You are next. Do you have anything to tease us with?
It's a surprise.
That's a tease. That's quite a
Surprise
tease.
to me as well, because I just remembered that it is me next week. So
Okay, so get ready for a surprise.